Mark the placement dots for your snaps as before. When you thread your needle this time, thread both ends through the eye so that you're left with a loop at the bottom. Like that. Draw your needle up through the bottom of the button and down through the top, catching the loop on the underside. The thread will be centered on the button. If you have a button with 4 holes, do this on the diagonal so that it's centered on the back. So push your needle through the dot marked on the front of the fabric. Now your button is right where you want it to be. Hold it and sew it in place. When you're finished sewing the button, turn it over to the other side and make a knot in the center where your dot was marked. This will center your thread on the marked dot. Your thread should be centered on that placement dot. Now, take the ball end of your snap and thread it on through the back. Take a small seed bead and slide it onto the thread. And then put your needle back through the top of the snap and carefully draw the snap to the fabric. When you've got it seated the way you want, you're going to make a tiny little knot in the fabric to secure it under the snap. Now, sew the snap to the fabric as before. Oops. Being careful not to poke yourself in the finger. There's not as much of a worry of the thread showing through to the other side since the button will be covering it, but I'd still try to keep the thread just in this one layer. keep going through to the other side. I don't want my thread to show. There we go. Now, you've got that sewn on there. All you need to do is snip off the seed bead and your snap with the centered button is in place. Now, all you need to do is sew on the socket end where it's marked in the same way we did the first time.